Yesterday morning was grand. I didn't record almost anything yesterday except for when we picked up our friend Tristan and our friend Jeff, and we went to Fort Wetherill in Rhode Island, and it's a state park, and it's got, like, from what you guys saw, just buildings that, I don't even know how to explain it, stuff of the war, like there was a war there at one point and such. I will look it up to make it easier for me to explain. Let's see a little bit of what Wikipedia says. Fort Wetherill State Park. Fort Wetherill State Park is a public recreation area occupying 61.5 acres at the southeastern tip of Connecticut. I don't know. Let's see if I can. Oh, you probably can't. No, not with this camera. Conianicut. It sounds like Connecticut, but like, say, calling somebody a butt from Connecticut, like Connecticut. I don't even know how to explain it. Connecticut Island in the town of Jamestown, Rhode Island. The state park sits on the east passage of Narragansett Bay, opposite Fort Adams State Park. From 1901 through World War II, Fort Wetherill and the Fort Adams were part of a string of coastal defenses designed to protect the bay's entrance points. The Fort Wetherill Battery and Training Camp were acquired by the state of Rhode Island from the United States in 1972. The park is used for sightseeing, scuba diving, which I didn't know, picnicking, I thought it was panicking, picnicking, boating, fishing, and hiking. As of 2020, the fort itself is almost completely covered in graffiti, which is very true, obviously, from the videos that or from yesterday, you can see the clips from yesterday in the video, you can see that. But yeah, it's located in Jamestown, Rhode Island, and honestly, I've been there this is my third time going, but honestly, either way, it was like a very, very cool experience going. I found a mushroom when we first walked in, and I was really happy about that, because mushrooms are obviously my thing. And there was a tiki dude in there, which was really cool. There was Jake, but we're not going to talk about what's on him. And he looks cold, he looks unhappy, but I got him at the last second. Tristan's sitting on a rock as when we first walked in. And then Adrian and our friend Jeff is on the side of him because we found the cliff to the water first. And Adrian and Jeff sitting there waiting for Tristan. Every single turn that we took in there, Tristan just went off. He's an adventurer. He just went off, and that's how that was. He hides and he scares people, but he also likes to take little, like, tunnel areas and such. And then Tristan and Jeff raced to the top of this thing. As you can see, they're both really ecstatic that they made it to the top. Jeff and Tristan were very interested in all of the areas. Oh, hey, look, there's a Stewie and Brian. Can't really see, but yeah. Every time we found a little, like, tunnel area, Tristan and Jeff just always wanted to go into the little areas. There was this area that's in the ceiling that they were both so trying to figure out, because I guess there was an opening in the ceiling, and Tristan really wanted to go up into it, but wouldn't have been a good idea if we wouldn't have been able to get him up in there. But that was all of our fun yesterday. Oh, we also saw, I forget their names. And on the way back, I think it was the Jamestown Bridge, but I could be wrong. It was lit up red, white, and blue. Oh, let me remember how yesterday even started off as. So, 2 days ago, one of the old co-workers whom left his toolbox at the shop for a few months, I don't know the full story, he just wasn't at the shop. He expected for nobody to touch his stuff. Now, nobody knows what happened to his stuff, but apparently when he came back in 2 days ago, his stuff was basically, I don't know if it was beat to shit because I haven't seen it, but it was apparently a tad bit beat up. I don't know. But he called OSPD, and then he called the district manager to let the district manager know. And Adrian was on and off phone calls with the district manager half the morning, and Sam, trying to figure out, oh, did so-and-so actually fill out this paperwork or that paperwork, and everything going on. And I was kind of sitting off, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. It's understandable though, they had to get it done, they had to figure it all out. And then I feel bad because I told Adrian's mother the wrong thing when I went to go walk upstairs and we were trying to figure out what was wrong with her car. She was saying that the RPMs were, like, being very weird sometimes, and okay, you know, before we leave, even though our day was already consisting of a whole bunch of stuff anyways, I just wanted to spend time with him on his day off because the hour's gonna be changing, but you know what, it's fine. So, we had to go down to, we had to call to like 4 or 5 different O'Reillys to try and find, and Monroe's to try and find the, oh, and Volkswagen, because it's a Volkswagen Jetta, apparently. I had to call the multiple to try and figure out where we could, not a gas cap, an oil cap from. And, because apparently the one that Isabel has, nobody ever has that in stock, or you need to, like, order it or something, and it's very expensive if you order it, and I don't know, pain in the ass. I forget what the extra thing yesterday was, because, oh, it was the car thing. And that's when Adrian sat there and was like, oh, well, do you want to go back to the house tonight and we can, and he could put it all together and all that stuff for her, or we could wait until today. So we decided we were going to pick up Tristan and Jeff. We were hanging out for a little bit and our only thoughts were, oh, we're gonna go to Mystic so that way he could go and he could get the, I think it was the Volkswagen dealership? Actually, now that I say it out loud, I think it was a dealership. He had to go and get the oil cap from there, and we were just planning on driving around for a few hours, or like going and like sitting somewhere for a little bit, and then going and getting Moe's for dinner and just dropping everybody off at home and coming home at a decent time, because apparently, as my friend Frank says, we've been getting home at early times and going to sleep early, which is this damn time change, and it's the freaking cold that's starting it, and I would have been able to get more clips last night, especially with Adrian holding the camera, but because he took it over halfway through, because I was wearing my boots, and I should have thought about it, but then as soon as I thought about the fact of going for a hike, it was like a day later when we were already in the car, and there was no way, unless we stopped by the house, which I don't like coming home and stopping home until, like, it's direly needed, because then I'll walk in and I'll see Lacey and Cripple and be like, come on, steal my babies! It gives me anxiety leaving my house. Yeah, I'm gonna get my makeup wipes and everything else needed tonight. Since the podcast is tomorrow, I'm gonna get a few of the sensory toys or whatever it is for that, and I need to get makeup removing wipes. Clearance is normally always a steal. Not literally. It's almost 8 o'clock. I have to feed the cats right away this morning anyways, like normal at 8. Lacey had knocked down my lights for like the 70th time and God knows how long. I forget what I was talking about before this, but I need, when we go out, like, oh, my batteries and the coldness and them dying. So, yeah, we would have gotten more footage and such, but I need either a, well, I could say that I have a charger on the go anyways, because I can plug in my camera charger anywhere and charge it like that. But because it was so cold in Rhode Island last night, and the sun was decently going down, because we got there at like 3, so the sun was already starting to go down. We were there for like an hour and a half, and Tristan had us go through like a tunnel and everything else. It got really scary because I'm claustrophobic, but we made it through, and I was like, ah! But my camera batteries were dying because it was so cold, and this is also the reason why I wish that I had more, because I'm probably going to ask Adrian to get me another one of these little chargers. Oh, it's not even long enough for you to be able to see it. That thing, where you just plug the battery right into the top of it. I might ask him to get me another one of those, so that way I can have like 3 or 4 batteries and be charging 2 at the same time, and at least have like 2 on me or something, because, ow, my eyeball. Because this is just getting really annoying. I totally forgot. And then the microphone was red too last night, so I hope, just like the podcast, it actually has the audio to it. But yeah, it was red. Apparently Tristan's phone died as soon as we got there.
Tunnel and I'm following it. And back to the jail cell. Let's just randomly walk through tunnels. Welcome back. They're all like the outside over that way. There's another tunnel this way, I think.
Tristan in his tunnels.
Fuck yeah.
It was kind of funny too, because as soon as he explained the fact that his phone had died, Adrian was like, "Oh, you were in the middle of taking the video." Yeah, and I forgot to give Tristan a charger on the way home, and it was like, it wasn't even a long drive like it normally is. It was actually, for us being right on the border where we were in Groton, it was like a 53-minute drive, but the only reason, and that was to Moe's in Groton from, where we were in Jamestown, Rhode Island. But it was a decent day, and I hope Tristan saved those videos, because that was pretty funny too. That was funny, because there was one tunnel that Tristan went into, came out in a different room, and then Adrian left the room that I was in to go and find Jeff, and Jeff was on the outside of everything. So when I was trying to find Tristan to get us all to go outside, that's when this happened, and Tristan came out of a hole, and I was like, where's the rest of them? Either way though, we got some good pictures. We plan on going back at some point in time. It's always fun when it comes down to all that and hanging out with them and everything else. We hung out with Jeff because he went to EDC Orlando, and the day that I asked him to hang out beforehand, we had planned to hang out with Tristan, but Tristan didn't answer us half the day. So as soon as Tristan answered us, I had to send Jeff a message and be like, oh, never mind, because the person who we, first made our first specific plans with, he finally answered. So I felt bad, and Jeff sent me a message yesterday and was like, oh, well, you guys are down to hang out like you said the other day. And I got back from EDC, so I was like, oh, okay, then I guess as long as nobody got a problem with each other, we'll just all hang out. And everybody got along so well while going through that, and that's probably one of the reasons why I want to go back. But I want to go back when it's like summer-ish and it's not as cold as it was when we were there, because even Tristan was cold. Like, Tristan and Jeff were shivering, and when they start shivering, it's cold. It was like 40 degrees with the sun going down, but we were very active and we made it through, and as you can see, Tristan found many tunnels that suited his happiness. And it's really funny because now, since I'm in like a very warm, like 60-70 degree house, of course there's not going to be any problems with the battery at the moment. I did take some pictures though with flash on, so I wanted to see this. I took with flash. Nothing really going on there. With the amount of souls that have passed away in this area or got killed, I would have, or gotten unalive, my bad. You would think that at least an orb would show up in pictures, but there's nothing. This Among Us was taken with flash, and there's nothing. This Stewie and Iron was taken with flash, there's nothing. The one with Jeff having his finger up in the air with the thing in the ceiling, yeah, that one has nothing. The one with Tristan sticking his finger up in the air, see, that one has nothing. And then because my camera died, I ended up taking a few videos on my phone to send over. I like this eyeball. That's a pretty cool eyeball. You can't even see the coolness of it on the camera. And then the Williamson, this thing, huge ass boat, can't even see the name on it, that passed by. And yeah, we ended up taking our walk back to the car, and we all enjoyed just sitting there for a few minutes while we waited for the car to warm up a tad, and then we ended up going, obviously, straight to Moe's. Tristan got food, so he was happy last night as well. And Adrian and I got food, and then we dropped Tristan off, then we dropped Jeff off, and it was a decent night. I have a doctor's appointment today, so I'm not really looking forward to today, but it's whatever at this point. I'm going to go outside for my 15-20 minutes, hoping that that actually clears my head a little bit and I'm a little more stable as a human being. Yeah, it was a good night. I really wish, as I said, I really wish that I could have gotten more video of that, but I guess that's what happens when you have a camera, which battery runs low when it's cold. I'm looking forward to the podcast tomorrow. We're gonna have to figure out what's going on with it. As I said, we might end up changing our podcast to Sundays. Only make it easier, but then I feel bad for Adrian and Sam because, you know, they don't get their man's night together, but at the same time, and I hate to be rude about it because, like, nothing towards them hanging out and, like, being friends and all that shit, but Chloe and I had made these nights, or, you know, the Saturday nights for our podcast nights, we had made the nights for only when she was dating Sam. Lele. She smells Randall and Phoenix on the outside of my purple bag that I got last night. I'm very not happy right now due to the fact that I know that I have to go to the doctor soon. It's a new doctor and everything else, but at least it's in the middle of Old Saybrook, so it's not that bad. And then right after, because it's an appointment at 3, God knows how long it's going to take. She's probably going to talk to me about my whole entire hospital appointments and everything else. Or hospital visits, not appointments. And I'm probably going to end up at Monroe's after. Oh, I don't even know if I told you guys the extent of the whole Monroe's thing. Mondays and Thursdays, which apparently and obviously has to be Sam's day off is Monday, Adrian's day off is Thursday. Mondays and Thursdays, they are now going to be staying open, and this started yesterday as well. Today is the 18th. This started the 17th, so Thursday the 17th of November. They changed Monday and Thursday, which as I said was Sam's and Adrian's days off, to 8 o'clock at night. And Saturdays till 4, even though Saturdays and Sundays are till 5. Saturdays will be now until 4. And Adrian's day off is Tuesday, and apparently, I was going to say doctor. Sam's day off is going to be on Wednesdays. And Mondays is going to be, thank God they're getting an extra person too, because then they probably, hopefully, their district manager will change it to 2 days off instead of just 1 day off a week. Mondays is going to be half and half, meaning one of them goes in until a specific time, and then the other one comes in, and then the first one clocks himself out and leaves for the day, and the second one just stays there for the rest of the day. Adrian's most likely going to be able to, I think he said he's going to make it so that way on Mondays he opens, and then Sam goes in, and then he has his afternoon off and Tuesday, and then he has his Tuesday off. Goes back in fully on Wednesday, Sam has Wednesday off, and then I'm pretty sure Sam goes in on Thursday to open, and then Adrian goes in the afternoon. I don't know, it's long me such fuckery. I hate... This is the reason why I wish, especially during school years, that my mother would never make appointments when it came down to the fact of me having to go back to school. Because it's just, it's so weird sitting there and, like, having a half a day. I mean, I guess it's a normal schedule for specific people anyways. I guess it's just because Monroe's has never been like this before, and I know I'm not a worker there, this and that, but, like, it doesn't really matter when your significant other's whole entire life of work is what Adrian does. It happens. I know a lot about cars. Can I physically go in and fix it, whatever it is for you? Probably not. But I've paid attention to a lot of stuff. I can tell you where a lot of stuff in a car is, and that's basically the information that I've gotten recently in the past few years from the fact of him working there. I guess it's an experimentation to see how everything's supposed to go. I guess we'll see how it goes. Because to me, it just sounds... Can I say good morning? Aww, yay! You're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Stop. I went past the Nautilus last night as well, and that was pretty nice to see. After a while of not seeing it. There's a, I think it's called the USS Albacore, and it's in Pennsylvania, I believe. And I know, I was shocked too, because one of Chloe's friends has it in her pictures on Facebook, and her friend posted on Facebook one day, and I was like, oh, I've never really seen your pictures before. So I went through her pictures a little bit, which she doesn't really have that many, most of her son. And there was, when the baby was really tiny, like 2 years ago I think it was, I don't even know how old he is now, but when he was a baby in a stroller, she brought him to the USS Albacore, and I was like, oh my god, why is there, because it's a submarine that's outside of the water, and it's just like in this little like pavement carved out area to where it just fits in there. So that way if there's any like rain or anything like that, the rain doesn't just like pick it up and like it's probably attached to the ground. Anyways, I'm very interested in that stuff, whether I have a very massive fear of it or not. I feel as the more I get older, the more in tune I become with myself, I realize that sometimes it's just having to face a fear, and once you get over that fear, you feel a little bit better about yourself, and then you're like, oh, okay, it's not so bad, I can handle it. The whole thought process of that is, I kind of want to go and see it sooner or later. It's, as I said, literally just a submarine that's just not in water, and I find that to be a little bit cooler, though. Like, I find the Nautilus to be really cool, because it's at the New London submarine base, it sits in the water, like, it's just a museum, it's just there. But apparently the U.S. Albacore is also a museum. I mean, pretty obvious. But as I said, when this woman had taken pictures of her kid in front of it, it looked like smaller than what it was. So I googled it. And this thing is actually, you know what, I'll actually show you guys while I'm on the topic now. Yes, USS Albacore Museum in Portsmouth. Oh, it's in New Hampshire. My bad, it is not in Pennsylvania, it's in New Hampshire. So Adrian might actually mean, we want to plan a day out for that one. Wow, I was really, really off with that one. It's in New Hampshire. So this is what it looks like. You can barely even see it there. And from the way that it looks, like, it doesn't really look like it's that big, to be honest with you. Really just, it doesn't look like it's that big. This is the actual side of it. The door is right there. So you can definitely see how big this thing is. Now that I'm thinking about it out loud and looking at these, like, pictures of this, I think that I'm actually going to be quite terrified, I'm not gonna lie. It's a hell of a lot bigger than I imagined it was at first, but it's whatever. I faced my fear with the other one, and hopefully I'll be able to go in there and be gooch. This one, wow, I don't think I thought about myself before I, whew! You know what, while we're on the topic, let's see if there's any geocaches around the U.S. Albacore, because then it's going to make me want to go a little bit more. Hey, at least you know there's a hospital nearby, just in case anybody needs that one. I can't find it. It's not on the water like the, Nautilus is. I'll type it in again. Okay, so it gives me, every time I type in U.S. Albacore, it gives me this little area right here. And it says Portsmouth. It's not going to be that small of an area, obviously, because of the fact that the submarine itself is huge. We're going to do directions. Oh, that's why. So it was right. Okay, hold on. I got this. So this is the area, you see? This little area right here. And then there it is. Yeah, it looks like it's almost the same size as... There's people that live down the road from this. I mean, there's people that live down the road from the USS Nautilus, too. Don't get me wrong. There are no geocaches in that area. I just did literally all that for nothing. Good to know. Okay, it is 8:19. I have to answer Adrian and a whole bunch of people back on Snapchat, and then go outside, feed the cats, and go outside for my normal 15 to 20 minutes in the morning, and see where the day takes us until 3, because, as I said, I have my doctor's appointments today, which I'm not too fond of right now, but obviously, as said before, when it's over, I'll be feeling obviously much better about myself. I think what I was about to say before, but got myself off track, was I'm going to, since all we did yesterday was go and do the, hike at Fort Wetherill? Wetherill? Yeah, Wetherill. I never did my crunches, my 2,000 crunches with the weight, since I didn't do my crunches with the 2,000 crunches with the 5-pound weight yesterday, and because we went to Fort Wetherill. I'm not going to be hard on myself about it, because I was told a while ago that you're not supposed to exercise like that every single day, but at the same time I was told, like, you're supposed to exercise like that every single day. So what I'm trying to do is take the time that Adrian has days off and instead go for hikes instead of, or like go for a decent walk or something like that, instead of constantly pushing myself to do the same one thing every single day, because, like, it does get boring, especially when you're doing it more than, you know, 4 or 5 times a week. I'm going to do my curl-ups for the morning, watch some YouTube videos, probably watch some TikToks, probably do a TikTok, I'm not sure yet. Definitely not right now, cup of the day, because I'm drinking water right now. It's kind of warm in the thingy, but I can guarantee, or in the bottle, but I can guarantee right now, once I start drinking, I'll be like, oh, it's not that bad, because I don't really like warm water, it tastes nasty. And positive vibes. I have officially finished with my working out for the day. by exercising, whatever you have, well, whatever the saying is. I am currently watching a video about a submarine, right? I drove in a nuclear submarine in a frozen ocean, so basically the Arctic, and it's by Physics Girl, which I don't know if anybody follows her, but no, whatever, if not, that's who it is. I'm outside by with a whole entire bag of receipts, and I've been putting them into my Fetched app to gain points for that. I've already gone through all of these, and since this app literally only gives you like 16 days to put in before it becomes expired, I only did like half of those and got the points for them, but I still have this much left. I don't know where in this bag the November ones are, so I'm gonna keep going until I get through and find all of them, and then I'm going to take the receipts and start putting them in my project like I normally do, which I'll be explained soon. I don't even know what I'm going to explain that or show it or whatever. I think it's stupid, but it's something that I like doing, so I don't know. What's up? What's up? I think that's it for now. My everything just hurts, and yeah. It is 1:02 in the afternoon, and this is where the anxiety kicks in, because apparently I forgot that my appointment for my doctor's is at 2 and not 3. I also looked at the directions to the doctor's, and apparently where I thought my doctor's was, it is not where I thought that I was going, not the building that I thought that I was going. The same street, not the same building. I'm currently watching Brienne Barbie, whoever used to watch her years ago. That's where her name used to be. Her name is Brienne Marie now on YouTube. She's changing her lip piercing for the first time, so I'm watching that. My phone dinged and was like, oh yeah, you have your appointment in an hour, so I kind of gotta like get myself mentally ready for that. Just thought I still had more time, so I was snacking on pickles. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to take those and bring them for afterwards, because I was planning on the fact, a good thing my laptop is down, the brightness is down so low and I'm charging it, because I was going to take all of my stuff and go to Monroe's after going to my appointment, and then sit in the Monroe's parking lot for a little bit and edit whatever it is that I need to edit right now. The anxiety and the nervousness is kicking in. It probably would be less of a harsher situation for me if I had been there before, but I hadn't. Plus, there was some things that I wanted to do, of moving things around in my room today, and it looks like I'm not going to be able to do that. I have to get ready for that, and also I'm going to plan for tomorrow, because today's Friday, yeah. So, as long as hopefully the podcast happens tomorrow, I will do everything that I need to do, or needed to do today. I will do that tomorrow before the podcast, because, as I said, my anxiety is through the roof. It is also freezing cold today, from what it feels like on the inside too. My mother ran the heat twice this morning. So I'm going to be bringing my red DC sweatshirt with me, just in case. I'm going to go through my bigger bag, clean everything out, see if there's anything else I need to do besides cleaning up my breakfast and everything else, and then get myself ready to be down there by 2. I'm probably going to try and get down there by at least 1:50, but God knows at this point, my anxiety is through the roof, but it's fine, because once I go in there, once I get settled in and meet whoever it is I'm talking to, I can guarantee everything will be 10 times easier. I just hate it mostly when I think that it's at a specific time, but it's at a different time, and then keeping in mind that in the beginning of the week I totally even forgot that I have this appointment to go to. So, up until like 4 or 5 days ago, I was like, oh yeah, because I swear to God that it was supposed to be December 13th or 18th or something. I got a text message from the place saying on Tuesday that I had an appointment for 11/18 at 2 p.m. So obviously today is November 18th, 11/18. So, I don't know, now I feel like I'm gonna have to go back into my calendar and find out what it was that was supposed to be on December 13th or something. No lie on the fact of how absolutely cold it is outside right now. It's 43, and the highest today is apparently supposed to stay 43. So the kids are biking behind my car that just scared the crap out of me. It's 2:47. I had the notification on my phone that, that I had to go at 2, thinking it was 3, which I guess in a way, thank God, because at least I got it done sooner. And I have to go back in a month. I have to call because the person wasn't at the receptionist desk, which, leave that alone, because they might be busy, you never know. There wasn't a lot of people in there. Actually, I was the only one in there, but we're not going to talk about it. I met the doctor. Her name is Alyssa. That was pretty fun. I wasn't trying to be sarcastic, I promise. This is the old CVS parking lot on Main Street in Old Saybrook. And apparently there's 2 entrances, which, I mean, I guess maybe I knew. But they did a really good job with the inside of it. I honestly was looking forward to seeing how they created this whole entire thing from a CVS pharmacy into, I mean, I guess when you think about it that way, a CVS pharmacy isn't really that far off from an urgent care-ish. This is a primary care and an urgent care. The urgent care is in the front, the primary care is in the back. But I have to make another appointment within a month. I will call in, because as I said, I didn't want to wait for the woman or bother her or whatever. I will call in and make an appointment for next month because they want me to do like the whole physical thing and everything, which I don't know if that consists of having to give blood or anything at this point, but I am not down for it if that's what has to happen. But I'm going to catch some Pokemon while I'm here still because there are multiple Pokestops around here, so I'm going to grab those, and then I'm going to head to Monroe's with my laptop that I have, obviously, on me. Hope that it has at least enough charge on it, because honestly, I don't think that I gave it enough time to charge. Hopefully it has like 50%, maybe it's going to have like 40%. I'd ask Adrian if he can bring an extension cord outside, but he'd probably tell me to go inside, but at the same time, I'm not going to be sitting there for 2 freaking hours, because it's almost 4 o'clock, or sorry, it's almost 3 o'clock now. I'm not going to sit there and wait for 3 hours for them to close so I can use the office, plus the fact of, as I said before, we also have stuff to get done tonight. I didn't realize that there was a woman in the car next to me this whole entire time. But, yeah, so I'm going to head out that way, see how everything goes. If anything, I'm probably just going to end up sitting at Monroe's and watching some videos until they get out if I really don't feel like sitting there and editing right now. Because I'm not going to lie, I don't want to sit there and start editing like a really good video and then get to the point where I have to export it and only have like 20% battery left. I have to run inside and plug everything in. And that's it for now.